Welcome back, YouTube. I'm going to do a short one. I kind of have to. My freezer got full. So these are leftover bones from everything. You'll see that we have turkey, chicken, whatever, right? And lots of them still have meat and fat on them. Some of them don't. But I want to quickly rearrange these because I don't want to make this a long video, but you see this big, huge bone here. Lots of meat on it. That's all going to dissolve off into my bone broth that I'm making. And I'm going to arrange these biggest ones first, essentially, in here because I want the water to cover everything, but barely. And so I'm just going to put all my bones in here, and I've got lots. I've got pork, I've got beef, I've got everything, and there might even be almost too much water in here already, but we'll see. I'm going to put it in, maybe not, maybe I'll have to add a little bit. The only reason why I like to keep the water low is because I want to kind of make it space fit. It's going to be big enough. I'm going to have probably 10 to possibly 25, depending on how much bones I have that time I do it. So, but probably something like 12 or 14 containers in this one, if it looks about that. And I save those. They're essentially my soup, right? Especially if I'm feeling sick and I need a few more vitamins. And I find that these days, at least, I almost never get sick. And when I do, I often start getting sick that day. And by the end of the day, I'm feeling better, especially if I can get one of these bone broth, bowls of bone broth. Okay, so if we see this, it's actually darn near perfect. I'm going to add just a smidgen more water to this in a minute, but essentially that's it. So there's our bone broth. I'm going to let this sit for, 24 to 48 hours. You want to go at least 24, essentially, to leach out all the calcium from the bones and all the minerals from the bones. So I definitely want the minerals as well. I don't want to waste anything in this. And then some people strain this, so when they're done, I don't. I pick out the big bones, little bones, anything else, I just eat with it. It's delicious, all the fat, all the little tidbits. Some of these might even have someone else kind of working on it. It's all going to get cooked for 48 hours. It's good. So, bye for now. We'll show you a little bit more later, but that's essentially going to be most of the video. Welcome back, YouTube. So we were looking at our bone broth last time, and I threw it in the pot, covered the bones with water. It's been sitting for 72 hours. So you can see I fished out most of the big bones, maybe not quite all. And if I could, I got some small ones out. So I just took a couple out just to kind of show you this. Here's some small bones, and we'll see that they just come right apart now. And so if this is in my bone broth, it's not going to cause any damage. And in fact, there's lots of protein in these bones. And so I could have eaten that one. I can eat this one just the same way. Right. It doesn't taste very good, really. So I'm not advising that you specifically try to eat the bones, but you could eat all these small bones. They just come apart and they flake apart. Anyway, so if you want some extra protein, lots of protein in bones. If you come over to the soup, though, you'll see what I have at this point. So, like I said, about 72 hours. Can we actually look inside, maybe? We'll see that there's lots of fat, and everything has fallen off. You can see big chunks here. So that's why I had the knife. I was trying to cut it up. I'm just going to make a few bowls, and I'm just going to fill them up with whatever I can in here. Now, if I get a few small bones, I'm not worried about it, because as I just showed you, you can eat those just fine. Big ones I'll take out. If I, when I'm eating this though, if I'm not very happy with it, I'll just kind of, ditch the bone off to the side. But I want to get at least a little bit of meat. And you know what? Now that I'm using this ladle, I need the bigger one. This is just too slow. But anyway, I'm going to fill it up, and I'm going to have probably 20 containers that look something like this. And yeah, there's some more meat. Let's get some of that meat in there. Big chunks of meat that came off. Some of the food is in here as well. So lots of nutrients in here. And I'll have one of these anytime I'm not feeling well, or if it's just been a little while and I want to get some nutrients in me. All right, I'll do the rest later. So there you go. Bone broth, 72 hours. Bye for now.